We are Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel as we preview LSU road trip to Oklahoma. Saturday afternoon, 2:30 Central on ABC is where and when you can watch this one. Oklahoma 10.5-point favorite, over under of 38.5. We'll break it down right after we tell you about our friends over at GameTime Sidekicks. Yeah, our partner GameTime Sidekicks. Officially licensed stainless steel drinkware. All SEC schools plus 350 more universities. Stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce plus bottles and shaker cups right there at GameTime Sidekicks. Use promo code SC16 for the 20% discount to you, the viewers. That is SC16, 20% off there for you, the viewers. All right, Jay Greeson, LSU, Oklahoma. This is one of those matchups. It's like strength versus weakness on both sides of the ball. LSU has not been great offensively. Oklahoma has been really good on the defensive side. You swap sides. LSU's defense has been the strong suit of their team, while Oklahoma's offense has struggled at times.
It has struggled. And this side of Vandy, I don't know if there's a team more quarterback dependent to figure out ways to move the football and score points than Oklahoma with the way they lean on John Mateer. And it's been puzzling in a lot of ways. I mean, you bring in Arbuckle and you've got what you believe to be a more dynamic offense, but it just hasn't clicked in terms of consistency and extending drives. Now, they are pointed towards the playoff, and by any measure, the year's been an unbelievable success. But I think everybody realizes the Oklahoma defense is probably the best defense in America.
Yeah. And they have been extraordinary this year. And when you look at that side of the ball going against LSU, who offensively you feel like they really haven't had an identity. Michael Van Buren has been getting the snaps at quarterback, and it's like, and especially Saturday night against Western Kentucky, they really had a hard time moving the ball. And the offense at times looked non-existent out there.
It really did. And by all reports, and we're recording this Monday, going into Thanksgiving week, before this kickoff, by all reports, it's going to be Michael Van Buren again. Garrett Nussmeier with myriad injuries. And honestly, he has to be, and understandably, looking around about trying to get healthy, going into the draft process, and making a business decision in an LSU season that's been right there on the short list of most disappointing. Boy, that's not a short list anymore. The list of disappointing seasons in the SEC, when you realize Texas is on the outside looking in at preseason number 1, South Carolina, complete disaster, preseason top 15, LSU, after week 1 winning at Clemson in a game we thought had them pointed to a playoff trajectory, they fired a coach. Florida, Auburn, Arkansas. I mean, you look around, and from whether preseason or midseason, because now Missouri's limping to the finish. So, look, the motivation factor here is overwhelming on the side of the host team.
Yeah.
Oklahoma wins, and with the chaos around them, they punch their ticket to the playoff. LSU is playing for the difference between going to Nashville and going to potentially Orlando. I mean, for an interim head coach, with everybody polishing up their portal resumes, I mean, this is the motivation conversation is so one-sided. It feels like me debating Stephen Hawking on quantum physics in front of an MIT group. I'm going to lose.
When it comes to Oklahoma offensively, and specifically the matchup with LSU defensively, but also like, and on kind of on that piece you were just talking about of motivation, like Oklahoma getting the playoff. Like, with this offense, how can they try to make a run in the playoff, but also get past this LSU defense this week?
Here's the thing, though. You've got, all right, I've got a Groza vote. Amazingly, somehow, from my days of covering college football year in, year out, they still send me a ballot. Oklahoma's kicker is the best kicker in the country. So you merge the best defense in the country that's going to push every opponent backwards. As long as you don't have self-inflicted wounds, you're going to have a chance to win a whole lot of games 17-6 the way they did against Missouri. And Missouri's offense is better than LSU's offense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. When you look at the over-under 38.5, if I asked you which way would you lean here, what would you say?
Well, normally we push this to the end, but everything out of my mouth, look, you and I did a preview last week of Oklahoma, Missouri, and that over-under was 42.5, and it closed lower than that. And I said point blank, this is the type of total where Vegas is begging you to go over, which means you have to play under, because I don't see a path. If LSU's only going to get 13 at home against Western Kentucky, I don't see how they sniff that in Norman, considering the stakes for the Sooners and the talent difference. Because you and I did a preview earlier about Texas and A&M in their rivalry game, and the year-long questions that have not been solved about a Texas offensive line. The same sentiment can be said here for LSU, and there is no team in the country that if you've got offensive line issues, you want to line up against less than Oklahoma, because that front seven, that front defensive line is 10 deep, and a majority of them are going to play on Sunday somewhere, and it's relentless. Yeah. So you asked me about the over-under. I think the first team to 12 wins.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to go that way as well. Let's head into picks. Jay, who you got here in LSU's trip to Norman, Oklahoma?
What's the number at FanDuel, my man?
10.5. Oklahoma.
I'm going to lay the points. I'm going to lay the points. I think Oklahoma, and it wouldn't surprise me, honestly, Chase, if they shut them out.
Yeah.
And try to put an exclamation point on because this week we're in turkey mood, we're in rivalry mood, we're in oh my God, craziness mood. Next week, we're going to be in politicking mood, because all these coaches are going to get up on the podium and either talk about how they need to be included or how they need to be seated higher than they currently are. Yeah. So this is the only thing that scares me about the over-under is what if Brent Venables decides to put it in an extra touchdown, because, hey, image points count. Yeah. Image points count. But I don't see any possible way, even with their talent on the perimeter, that LSU, it looked like LSU phoned in last week, period. And you phone in a trip to Norman and you're going to get trounced. Yeah. So I just don't see, I'll lay the 10.5. I think this is a comfortable win for Oklahoma. And I think they are going to stamp their card to the playoff.
Yep. I've got Oklahoma winning as well, and I could definitely see a shutout being pitched by Oklahoma as well, just from what I saw Saturday night and the few minutes I watched LSU offense. They're going to have a very difficult time with Oklahoma, so I think it's a good win for Oklahoma. Saturday, we'll be here to recap it. Again, that is a 2:30 Central afternoon game on Saturday. Before we get out of here, let's tell you about the Yearly Company. They're a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition, designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from a solid 14-karat gold and natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Every Yearly Company bangle is custom sized. Knowing your size is most important. First step before ordering. That's where the sizing kit comes in, and you can get it 100% off that sizing kit at checkout by using promo code SC16KIT. That is SC16KIT. We'll take 100% off that sizing kit. Also, ROKFORM, the world's strongest magnetic phone case. Extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock secure mounting. You can get 25% off your order there from ROKFORM. SEC25, promo code SEC25 for 25% off. We'll be here to recap it Saturday. Subscribe if you have not already. We'll see you next time for more of Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel.